we got together as a group of Blue Ribbon panelists in order to discuss where we are now, where we need to go, and how do we get there as a field. There's so many challenges that we're about to face. There's a lot of research that we might want to conduct in this area, and having that trickle back down into a curriculum so that students can learn about it is really what we're here to talk about.
More emphasis on education of our current workforce and current students so that when they graduate, they have all the right skills to address some of the real-world challenges that they will face when they graduate.
Trying to best develop and position the next generation of the workforce to be successful.
Training and funding is getting the next generation of young students sort of trained and funded and being able to sort of move the field forward in the next, not 2 or 3 years, but in the next 2 or 3 decades.
And then the size of memory, because we have to come up with methods for analyzing and gathering evidence without looking at 100% of the evidence, because we just can't do it anymore.
The data volume, we've been talking about it for at least 10 years, but now it's actually starting to hurt. And going forward, there's going to be more of that.
What do we do with the explosion in data production? The exabytes of data that our lives produce across all different platforms.
Another area would be really understanding how technology is changing, and so that, being able to find funding and ways to keep up with that, especially for law enforcement agencies. A lot of the smaller ones can't afford the different types of equipment and tools that are necessary.
The field moves so fast. How do we keep up? But how do we keep up making sure that we're being clear about what we're doing and what it means?
Building a standardized corpus of knowledge and skills that will enable practitioners to deal with the changes that are coming in technology and society.
Right. So where we are now again is a bit of a it's not an identity crisis, but it's a finding ourselves kind of exploratory process.
And I would say we've come a long way since then, but this field is constantly in a state of flux.
I think we're in transition. I don't know that everyone, I think there is kind of an uneasy feeling.
Thus, as a field, it's still defining itself. It's still trying to come to grips with where does it fit in relation to other fields.
But the problem is we're always playing catch up. We're doing okay today, then tomorrow there's a new challenge and a new problem. So I think it's an ever expanding field, and I don't think that's ever going to stop.
So we need to kind of figure out how to keep tools current, how to keep them reasonably priced.
Right now we're at a pivotal moment where we can really form and shape what it is that we're going to be in a few years, or we can kind of stay idle like maybe we've been, and someone's going to end up doing this for us.
A wide range of people is kind of involved, and it was hard to get everyone together and to discuss about this field, and especially with the fast pace that we are changing right now, which directions do we want to go? And this is not a single decision that I can make or someone else can make. It's important that we get together the expert of the field, and we had a lot of experts here. To get all of them under one umbrella and then decide on which future directions do we want. I liked that I met a lot of people, and especially the talks in between, during the breaks, it was really, really interesting to get other points of view. So from that perspective, and also the discussions in there, they went very well. I think it is important to get the community together and pull in the same direction, in exactly the same direction. Okay, where do we want to go? So this is something that I see essential for the success of this field. And do I want to do something different? I overall think it was good. It was a wide flow. We had a lot of possibilities to talk about different things. It was still a little bit guided. So overall, I think it was a good concept. Maybe the questions will change in the future now that we started redefining it. Then the next thing is okay, how do we want to reorganize it, or in which directions do we want to go?